My argument of speech is on the legalization of cannabis, economic, medical, and social impacts. We will start with the economic benefits because this is one of the largest arguments in favor of legalization. Cannabis isn't just about what you smoke. It's quickly becoming one of the largest, fastest growing industries in the world. In fact, in 2019, the legal cannabis industry in the United States generated over $13 billion in revenue. And by 2025, that number is expected to soar to over $41 billion. So, where does all that money go? Well, a big chunk of it comes from taxes on cannabis sales, which directly benefit state and local governments. Take Colorado, for example. They were the first state to legalize recreational cannabis back in 2012. Since then, they've pulled in over $1 billion in cannabis tax revenue, which they've used to fund public health programs, education, and community development projects. So not only does cannabis legalization bring in money, it's money that can be reinvested into society. And it's not just about tax revenue. Legalization also creates a mass number of jobs. In the US, over 320,000 people were employed in the cannabis industry by 2021. And it's one of the fastest growing job sectors in the country. So whether it's cultivation, retail, or security, cannabis is putting people to work. Now let's talk about medical cannabis, because this is where the conversation gets really interesting. A growing body of research suggests that cannabis has significant medical value. It's been shown to help with a wide range of conditions, from chronic pain and anxiety to epilepsy and multiple sclerosis. The National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine did a major review in 2017, and their findings were pretty clear. Cannabis is effective in treating chronic pain, nausea from chemotherapy, and muscle spasms in conditions like multiple sclerosis. Cannabis is also proven to be an essential treatment for epilepsy, especially in children with treatment-resistant forms of the condition. In fact, CBD, a compound found in cannabis, has shown a significant reduction in seizure frequency for some epilepsy patients. But here's the catch. Because cannabis is still classified as a Schedule I drug, under U.S. law, it's really difficult for researchers to fully explore all the potential medical benefits. Cannabis is currently in the same category as heroin, LSD, which is totally out of sync with the growing scientific consensus that cannabis has real therapeutic value. If we legalize cannabis, it would open the door to much more research into its medical uses for everything from PTSD to depression and Alzheimer's disease. Another huge benefit of cannabis legalization is its impact on the criminal justice system. Right now, cannabis prohibition contributes to the mass incarceration problem in the United States. People, especially people of color, are often arrested for nonviolent offenses related to cannabis possession. According to a report from ACLU, Black Americans are nearly 4 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis possession than white Americans. Even though both groups use cannabis at similar rates, this disparity doesn't just affect individuals. It also contributes to systematic racial inequality in the criminal justice system. When cannabis is legalized, it reduces arrests and convictions for these non-violent offenses. This means fewer people are going to jail for something that in many places is no longer considered a crime. In places like Colorado, where cannabis is legal, there has been a significant decline in cannabis-related arrests. And let's not forget, legalization can help people with past cannabis convictions clear their records, making it easier for them to find work and housing. Of course, there are certain concerns about legalization. Some people worry that cannabis legalization could lead to increased addiction rates, more impaired driving, and higher rates of mental health issues. But let's take a deeper look at these worries. First of all, cannabis is less addictive than substances like alcohol or nicotine. The National Institute on Drug Abuse states that while cannabis can be habit-forming for a small percentage of users, its addictive potential is far lower than the tobacco or alcohol. Most people can use cannabis responsibly without developing an addiction. Then there's the issue of impaired driving. It's true that cannabis can affect motor skills, but research in states like Colorado, where cannabis is legal, hasn't shown a significant increase in traffic fatalities or accidents related to cannabis use. What's needed are better regulation and education campaigns to prevent impaired driving. Just like we have laws against drinking and driving, we can create similar standards for cannabis use. And what about adolescents? A common concern is that legalization might make cannabis more accessible to young people. But studies from places like Colorado show that legalization hasn't led to an increase in adolescents' cannabis use. In fact, usage rates have remained stable. Effective age restrictions and public education can help ensure that cannabis doesn't end up in the hands of minors. So in summary, the legalization of cannabis has the potential to offer substantial economic, medical, and social benefits. It can create new revenue streams for public services, generate jobs, and foster economic growth. Medically, it offers an alternative treatment option for patients with chronic pain, epilepsy, or other conditions. And from a criminal justice standpoint, legalization can help reduce arrests, particularly among marginalized communities, and refocus law enforcement resources on more serious crimes. Yes, there are concerns like addiction and impaired driving, but these issues can be addressed through smart regulation, public education, and research. Legalization doesn't have to be a free-for-all. It can be approached in a way that maximizes the benefits while minimizing the risks. Ultimately, cannabis legalization isn't just a political issue. It's a progressive policy choice that can foster a healthier, more equitable future for everyone.